lovely friends. Welcome to the final episode of my double page series or double page inspiration series. I'm starting off with white paper background. As you can see, it's not really a cardstock, it's just the back side of a pattern paper. And I like to do that because I want to use up the papers that I have, and sometimes there's some patterns that are really not working for me anymore. You know how when you buy those big packs of paper, and sometimes some of the pages or the designs doesn't really work with all of your pages. So I like to do this just so I can maximize the items or my stash. So this final page is all about grids. The beauty of a double page spread is because you can have a lot of area to work with, but sometimes when you have way too many things, it's so hard to organize them. I don't know if you have ever felt that way, but sometimes I do. And I have pictures and I want my page to be balanced, and I have elements that I want to add. So how do you do that with a pleasing to the eye, and that it will be easy for you to put together in one, when you're creating a page, so that you can create your page in one sitting. And one of my go-tos is grids. So this is an example of that, where I created grids. So when I think about grids, I don't think about just like one single shape of a box. I mean, it could be rectangles, it could be squares, it could be like long strips, but it has to be kind of in kind of a boxy type of look. And so that's what I'm doing here. And it actually is really good also when you don't have a lot of elements to work with, papers or embellishments. And this worked really well for me because this was I want to say my last layout, I think. It was my last layout with my homemade October kit. And so I was running out of items. And as you saw earlier, I had pulled this blue cardstock from my stash, and I will just use that to mat my white papers. And I love matting my pages. If you've been watching my scrapbook videos, that is one thing that you know that I do all the time. And I am a sucker for consistency when it comes to that, so I don't think you will see me stop doing that anytime soon. I'm just using my tape, and I've run out of that one specific tape, so I'm going to use this other one. And I gotta say, this is a pain to use because it adds a couple more steps for me before I can use the adhesive. What I mean by that is, as you can see, I have to put the adhesive on the paper, and then cut it out, and then peel it out, peel out the top layer of it before I can adhere it to my page. So for me, being that I like to be as efficient, I don't want to say fast because I still love the process, but these kinds of meticulous portions of creating for me is kind of a downside for not having my ATG gone. But like I said in a previous video, I'm trying to use up the adhesive that I have on hand already. So once this is all gone, then I will definitely bring out my ATG and buy some more refills for it. So I'm just peeling away and going back to the grid design. So like I mentioned earlier, this is you're going to see me put everything in grids and in blocks. And it helped me to organize my pictures, make everything balanced, and I still do the same type of design elements or process that I did with all of the other double page spreads that I created. For example, it's that whatever you do on the left, you do on the right, and visual triangle and those kinds of things. So a little bit about the pictures. This was a fun event for our family. We went on our first fishing trip. I know you were like, what? First? Yes, it was our first fishing trip. We used to live in Southern California, and if you ever lived in Southern California, you know that because of the traffic, it takes like 2 hours, at least 2 hours, just to get out of the city. So for us to be able to go out somewhere where we can fish, it was rare. I mean, well, let me take that back. It was non-existent to say the least, to say the least, because it was just hard for us to get out of the city and to plan things like this. So when we moved to Colorado, that was one of the things that we loved about this area, was that it doesn't take a lot of time for us to get out of the city proper and to be in up in the mountains and do fun outdoor things like this. So like I said, this is our first fishing trip. The kids really, I think I remember our church going through some kind of a fishing trip, but because both my husband and I were the leaders, the kids didn't really get a chance to go fishing because we were helping all of the other kids that was part of our group. And so we promised them that we would go as a family to go fishing, and that's what we did here. Going back to the grid design, as you can see, everything is kind of blocked sections. This actually lends itself really well if you are a project lifer as well, because then you're used to the pockets where it has different kinds of configurations. So this is great for that as well. But as you can see on the top left, I have this whole wide 12 by, I don't know, 12 by 3 piece there, and so I'm kind of repeating that on the bottom right with my journaling and that one photo. And then I'm going to be putting together my layout because I have this long strip of space that I decided that I would go with a long title as well, and that would be Lovely Day for Fishing. And I've said this before, that one of the things that I am kind of challenging myself to do is to create titles that are not just long but use variety of stickers, because I do have a lot of letter stickers. And so this is an example of that. I used 3 different stickers for this. I used the Lovely from the KI Memories sticker sheet, and it's a little bit of glittered, and the color of the Lovely actually is very close to that strip that says I love you on the bottom right. And then I'm using these puffy stickers from SEI. They're more navy blue, and I don't have any more S's or a smaller case S, and so I just put the uppercase S there. I think that's fine. These are some of the little details of my layout that I'm not going to concern myself about. There are things that I am a little bit OCD about, but as far as this thing, I think that, you know, down the road, none of my family members are going to say, Mom, you didn't spell the fishing right because there's a big S or a capital S on the center of that word. So I'm not going to fuss about that. I am using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm using 12 3x4 photos here. And that strip of multicolored paper is an SEI paper, and I'm just going to be punching out some scallops on the top, and this is also going to be added on the top left and on the bottom right, just to finish that cluster or layers of embellishments paper strips on there. And I made a mistake. I should have punched that away from my layout and not in the right center of my page, and so I had to grab all of those excess, or the stuff that came out from the punching out of there. And the good thing is I haven't adhered anything, so I can clean up that spot and then move on when I'm ready to adhere things. The strips of paper that I added on the top left and on the bottom right are from a paper strip from Bella Boulevard. I think it's from a kind of love line that they had. I forgot what, I think it's called Kiss Me, if I'm right. And then I just added a strip of washi, which is from Queen and Company. It's kind of a turquoise blue. And then I've also printed off my journaling for this layout, which makes my life so much easier lately. I think this is going to be a trend in my next few videos, where I print off a bunch of journaling blocks, and just, yeah, so I can just finish a page and not have to worry about it later on by having to add my journaling. And I just added a date stamp on there. I'm going to handwrite my date later on. For the blocks of paper that I have left over or that I included in this page, one thing that I love about grids is that you can swap pictures with layered items, layered embellishments, and so that's what I did with some of them. This die cut frame, Polaroid frame, is from a My Mind's Eye pack, and I'm just going to fill up the back side of that with some kind of cream colored paper from SEI. I just think that it needed a little bit of more layers to make it stand out against the white background. And then it's also going to house a butterfly. Now, the butterfly doesn't really have any personal meaning for me when it comes to this page, but I just like how it creates a texture and a layered embellishment with this layout. And of course, like I said before, I like to add things kind of balancing it out, so it's going to be on the top right and then on the bottom left. And here are some rub-ons from Chic Tags. And I think it's more of a spring line, but it had some words that I thought fit well with my page, and I thought I would add some of them to some of the kind of white spaces of my pictures, but unfortunately they're not really popping out. So what I'm going to do is, after I add this rub-on directly onto that fish picture, that I am going to be adhering two more rub-ons, but this time it will be adhered to the beige paper that I used for the backside of the Polaroid, and then I'm going to just fussy cut that and then add it to my page, just so that it will pop out, because yeah, as you can see there, you can't hardly read the words from being rubbed onto the pictures. But it's okay. It's just the added accent. What else is I doing here? So I'm going to be adhering some more of those rub-ons, but this time I'm going to adhere them to the pattern paper and just fussy cut them. I am also going to adhere them with some foam dots, I believe, so that it will stand out a little bit more. So I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. It's been fun for me to create 4 double page spreads. I think that's the most that I've made in the past few months as far as double page spreads are concerned. I kind of been consistently doing just 1 double page spread a month, and so this has really helped me to be more accountable and to use up or to create those much needed memories that had to fit in a double page spread. And if you guys have been playing along and creating your own double page spreads, do you hear my baby in the background? I don't know if you do, but I hear him, and he's just babbling away. Anyways, if you have been playing along or have been inspired to create your own double page spreads with all of the ideas that I have shared with you, I hope that you share it on my on the comment section below, because I love to see what you've done, and I love how our community inspires each other. I know I have been inspired by my friends on YouTube and also people that don't know me, and all of the crafters out there have inspired me one way or another, and so I hope that my little uh, take on double page spread has inspired you as well to document those special memories. I know that they're fleeting, and we always hear that time flies so fast, and so I think that's one of the reasons why I love scrapbooking, because then you can preserve all those memories that are most likely would just be forgotten. So that paper that I just added is actually part of a cut apart sheet from a paper from Oh Darling collection of crate paper, and I didn't really have any use for the other side of it, which is the cut apart part of it, and so I just used the back side, which is the chevron brown design, and I'm going to be using that as well on the top right of this page. And I'm just adhering my pictures. So part of the grid design is I like to actually show the grids of each of my elements. And so I had to trim down my pictures a little bit so that there is that white space in between them. And I'm just basically adhering everything now. Can you see the mess on my the sides of my mat? Yes, that is how I create. I make a mess, and I am not afraid to say that out loud. I guess I kind of cringe to see it in the video, but I hope I'm not the only one that makes a ton of mess when you create, because that would be really sad that I'm the only messy crafter out there. So this title page or title block was a little bit, they're kind of like spread apart too much, and so I'm moving them around just to give them a more even spacing in between them. And the lovely one, I couldn't really move them anymore, so I just moved everything else. And these are just some of the close-ups. Again, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section below. Please hit a thumbs up if you like this video, and also subscribe. Thanks guys, and have a great day. Bye.